When it comes to contact, the number one thing that I see is the difference between those levels, the NFL levels, the guys that play at a high level consistently, and the guys that are at the levels below, or the guys that get to the league and don't make it. There's one thing that's different is that the guys that make it know how to ground their feet on contact at the point of contact all the time. It's not just a random act. So have you guys ever seen, you have kids that are pretty big, and they have good intentions. They want to go out and do well. They want to move guys around, and they're physical. It's all there mentally, but they're not consistent. So the first place to look is not at the heart, not at the strength, not at the toughness, it's at the mechanics. So when I say grounding our feet, I'm talking about being one with the ground, being rooted into the ground. So granted, you have to move around. I'm not saying be stuck in concrete, but you got to be able to fire your feet and stick those feet in the ground at impact. That's what we want. So when guys get blown up, and everybody's been blown up, why? Because it's typically 1 foot is off the ground on some level. And it may be hard to see on film, but maybe it's a posture issue. Maybe the placement of the feet aren't there. So when we talk about staying grounded, we'll talk about magnets. Like you put 2 magnets on a refrigerator, and they're squares or rectangles. You snap those magnets on the refrigerator, they're pretty stable. You turn one up on its corner, it's not stable, right? You can pull it off. The ground is the only surface we can draw energy from. So I'm going to talk about this first. In fact, I want to get a volunteer, somebody that can come up and help me out. Anybody that wants to, don't jump up at once. You asked, said you would help us, but you can come up now if you want. But if there's anybody else, just feel free to jump up. Now, I'm assuming you're a big man, so we can have you pick me up, right? You can pick me up? Yeah, I think you can. So you're going to do this. You're going to put your hands around my waist, right? And just pick me up, okay? Good. Okay, now you pick me up pretty easy, and like you crack my back, which I appreciate. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to say pick me up, and then you're not going to, hopefully not be able to do it. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm grounding my body. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have you do the same thing and pick me up. Try it. What does that feel like? It's heavier? Does that feel heavier? You couldn't get me up? Is that weird?
Kind of sort of.
Yeah? So I want you to try this one. It is weird, right? So I'm showing you something because this is the concept. So I'm going to pick you up, just relax, right? Oh. I think I got you back there, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to visualize your feet are locked into the ground. You breathe and just feel your feet grabbing the ground. Like your feet are hands, like this. You're squeezing the ground with your toes. You're relaxed, but you're rooted. Your hips are through, you're in a good posture, and then just visually see yourself stuck into the ground. Okay, let's try that. I don't see it move. Yeah. Somebody want to try to feel this? I'm seeing stars because I try to listen to it. Does this make sense? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I get it. I don't think it makes any sense. I don't know how it works. Because I'm sure this isn't like a trick. I don't know this guy. You want to feel it? No. Okay. I'm going to pick you up. Just be relaxed, right? Okay. Now, really find yourself. Like, breathe, breath the ground. Don't let me lift you. Okay? Somebody wanted to try this. You got to feel this yourself. That's good, man. That's pretty good. Now you're doing easy? Oh, no, he's not. Crazy, right? All right. So, thanks, fellas. Why am I showing this? We train guys, like I said, some NFL players and coaches and things like that. I'm working with some guys now that are making the transition from college to pro. So, guys that go to play the Senior Bowl, got a couple guys down there now. Guys playing in other games. But anyway, I tell them this exact thing, that you guys did well in college, you did well in high school, that's why you're even here. Because you ran up and hit someone and you mowed some guy down. Sometimes you looked at him a certain way and they fell. You didn't actually apply yourself to the optimal level you could. So one of the things you'll see on blocking O-line-wise, guys will hit a guy and then they lose their balance on the second level. They're not in balance all the time. So that's where it's dynamic. We're not going to stand out there and be like, all right, move me. No, you're moving, right? But how do we connect with the ground when we engage? So I told this kid, hey, we did this little drill exercise here. I'm thinking about ways to get him to understand. So I did this, and he goes, and he literally goes, whoa, his mind was blown. And from there on out, he was like very hard to move. He was very dynamic, very athletic, but his feet were always grounded, boom, 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 moving and laterally able to deliver force, using the ground to his favor. And some of the things you're going to see today related to the hands, okay? Those things are very detailed and they're very effective, but they're not going to work unless you get the grounding part down.